Okay, everybody, this is Emar Substitute, the Sports Inquirer, and we're happy to be joined by Georgia State men's soccer representatives, head coach Brett Surrency, and midfielder Simon Carlson. Coach, we'll start with this last matchup that you had against Marshall at home, a nationally ranked opponent, conference foe, able to earn the draw. What are your takeaways from the contest?
Yeah, I was really proud of the guys. And I thought we had a pretty good game plan going into it. And I thought the guys were brilliant in executing that and being disciplined and, the work rate and, everything that goes with competing against the top level team. I thought was all there. You know, uh, Obviously ended in a draw. I thought we had chances to score more, and maybe they did as well too. So maybe it's a fair result at the end of the day. But yeah, mostly just really pleased with the way the guys went out and competed in what was a hard fought game for both sides, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the foul totals from the contest, and a lot of cards given out in a matchup. Simon, what is about those type of contests and just thoughts on getting the draw? What about the physicality of the matchup, a conference foe, obviously a team that you're competing with to reach a high level with, but just thoughts on the contest against Marshall?
Yeah, I think we wanted to get stuck in and just make sure that we made our presence felt against them, not give them too much respect as a ranked opponent, and just go out and try and implement what we want to do and just make it that type of duel where it's who wants it more.
Yeah, and what is it about the second half of and we'll start with you, Simon, and go to coach. I think you've doubled your goal totals in the second half, and you've outscored your teams by double your opponents in the second half. And you scored a goal in the second half as well last night. What's been the reason you think for that? Just having that second half level of performance. And we'll start with you, Simon.
I think a lot of it's down to the depth of our team. We have just a lot of quality. We're 30 strong, and it's not just the 11 who start, but it's the people who come on and really make an impact. And that allows us to, throughout the whole game, be fully focused, fit, and ready to go rather than the first half when some teams may tire out.
Yeah, coach, similar question. What's been the difference just in the second half? Is it the depth that Simon said? Or are you just having some good adjustments in the locker room? What's led to the second half surges that you've seen from the team?
Yeah, no, I think Cy probably hit the nail on the head. We are proud of our depth, and I think that's sort of what he's alluding to going into the game last night is that we wanted that to be felt. We wanted to be energetic and um, active, so to speak, and knowing that when those guys gave what they could for whatever that time period was, other guys could come in and we have that confidence in them to do a similar type job. And I think you saw that last night where Simon sort of hit it on the head where guys came in and did a really great job to start the game, and then other guys came in and did some similar things, and that was just sort of the flow of the rest of the game. And we've talked I think all year about our depth, and that's been challenged this year I think with some of the injuries. But I don't think we've made any real excuses about it because we bragged about it at the beginning of the year, so it would be a little bit contradictory if we then went and start complaining about injuries. So no, it's a credit to the guys and having the right mentality when their opportunity comes is to come out and perform well. And yeah, no, I think it's been a strong suit for us all year.
Yeah, Simon, you've had a big performance so far this year, 5 goals this year, more than doubling your total from all of last year. What's been the difference this year for you as a player, just being able to be so productive on the offensive end as compared to your start of your career?
I think it's just the focus for me and wanting the output and really just focusing on the final end product. Uh, where in years past it's been more of the production and focusing a bit more on that, and now it's just wanting to get the numbers and do whatever I can to help the team.
Yeah, and coach, what about Simon and just your goal production? You've lost talent from last season, and you've had to bring some guys and had guys step up like Simon. What about Simon and just the ability to score goals? Because I know we talked in the preseason that maybe not the biggest issue, but something that you needed to find goals from different spots. So how do you think the team has been able to do that, especially with Simon?
Yeah, no, I think as it pertains specifically to Cy, I mean, Cy's always been a guy from an energy perspective and a work rate and a desire side of things that he's always been top. And the challenge to him, after the year last year was to add goals and assists. And I think we saw that in the spring when we had those exhibition games. He took that on, and then now you're seeing it, here as well too. So he's really just added, some of the goals and assists to what he was already great at in terms of energy and pressing and mentality and desire. I mean, that's always been his calling card, and something that is a wonderful example for the guys around. But now as he's got a little bit older, and you mentioned we lose some goals, like we needed some goals and assists, and he's been able to provide that punch as well too.
Yeah, and just doing an unofficial count, I think you've had at least 13 different goal scorers this year. What's that been like for you, Coach, to have that much depth and getting goals from so many different guys and so many different spots?
Yeah, no, I think that's helped. Because we have, I think some of that is down to just some injuries and some guys being in and out of the team a little bit. I do think we've got a good group of guys that ultimately just want to win. So it doesn't really matter who's scoring the goals. I think from a coaching perspective, we've seen the other side of it as well, where we've leaned on maybe one guy to score goals in years past, and I certainly would rather have it this way. Because you can count on a goal coming from somewhere and in some fashion as well. So yeah, I mean, it's a good thing. And as I said, as long as the goals come, we're okay. It doesn't matter who they come from.
Yeah, and Simon, elaborate on that, just having so many guys, yourself included, be part of the goal scoring and the scoring opportunities. What's that like as a team, just being a part of a group that's everyone can contribute on that end?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it speaks about the variety of the way we can score goals. We've scored quite a few from corners with our big boys coming up from the back, and then some good plays from us up front. And it's just really shows the variety we can score from anywhere. We can be dangerous from many different situations. So no, it's good to be able to always feel like we're able to find the back of the net when we need to.
Yeah, and then lastly, for both of you, we'll start with you, Simon. You have West Virginia coming up, make that trip up there. How's the recovery going? And what, but just how this team doing? Just putting yourself in a position to once again put itself in the top half of the conference standings.
Yeah, no, it's good. Everyone feels very good. Obviously, still a bit tired from last night, but with a few more days left before the game, we'll be sharp and travel to West Virginia and ready to take on them in Morgantown.
Yeah, and Coach, a similar question. Just preparations for recovery from last night against Marshall, and now getting ready for another highly contestable contest against West Virginia up in Morgantown.
Yeah, no, we had a good recovery session. Came in this morning and shook some things out with the boys and strength coach as well too. So yeah, I think this time of the year is getting your body in position to play again. These guys have a lot of minutes under their belt, and some travel associated, and it's a bit of a sprint with a lot of volume involved. So managing the body and the mind is important. As Sai said, we'll get on a flight on Saturday and head up to Morgantown. They're a really good team. A lot of respect for those guys. As people and as a team as well too. So we know that we'll have to be good and put together a good performance in order to get anything out of it. But this is like we talk about as a group. This is where we want to be. It is an important game, and it's an important game because we've had a good season to this point. So we want to hopefully continue that and finish the Sun Belt Conference season strong as we go into the conference tournament.
Yeah, well, guys, thank you for your time. I greatly appreciate it. And hopefully we'll catch up later on in the season as you get ready for the conference tournament.
Thank you.
Thank you.